Hello guys, Termex here and welcome back to another Borderlands 4 video. Today I found a Harlowe, not necessarily an interaction, but just a combination of skills that people are really sleeping on when it comes to Harlowe in general, and it is in the green tree. Now we all know nuclear winter and how it makes damage turn into action skill damage, and then the action skill damage counts towards your radiation, blah blah blah. We know that's powerful, we don't know if it's a bug, but it's powerful. But the main skills we're going to be going over are going to be Gamma Ray Burst and Meltdown. These two abilities single-handedly could unlock so much potential with your builds, with conjunction with guaranteed crits from our excited state, because every time we damage an enemy with a action skill, our next shot is a guaranteed crit. But since nuclear winter counts as action skill damage, every time we're standing in our group study drone, every shot will be counted as action skill, so every shot's a guaranteed crit, and you do not need the crit knife that everybody's drooling their balls over. And if we do some generic benefits like bonus crit damage from momentum, obviously bonus crit damage from excited states, bonus radiation damage from just irradiating enemies, and then if we want infinite ammo, since we're hitting guaranteed critical hits, every time we hit a critical hit, there's a 15% chance we add 4 bullets to our magazine. Now you're starting to see where this gets a little bit crazy, but this is just simply Green Tree Harlowe, and for those curious, all I have here is generic gun damage on action skill retrigger and action skill damage in red tree to help benefit our damage in general. Now this isn't necessarily a build, it's just more shining light to this skill combo and the crazy things it could do, especially with the infinite ammo and all this fun stuff. So the first thing we're going to show off is how Gamma Ray Burst works. When we retrigger our action skill, the next shot fired from our gun will drain a portion of our shield, but that will deal bonus radiation damage. Now this bonus radiation damage is scaled based off how many points are in the action skill. To my knowledge, it's not based off your shield capacity. I tried this with a high capacity shield and a low capacity shield, the damage did not change. And then the other skill, which is Meltdown, when we critically hit, which we are guaranteed critting with excited state and nuclear winter, we get a secondary burst of damage that deals 64% of the original damage dealt. So where this gets crazy is when we amp ourselves by retriggering our action skill and getting that bonus radiation damage, that amp shot will also proc Meltdown, so that amp shot's bonus damage will also give you 64% of its bonus damage, and it will proc again. Now, this applies to many things. It applies to many different items, and you could say you want to use SMGs or assault rifles. Don't do that. Don't use fast-firing guns with this build. You want quite the opposite. You want heavy-hitting, high-damage weapons, and what better to do that with than our handy-dandy stopgap? But why the stopgap? The main thing with the stopgap is when we're firing, our fire rate goes down to 20% of the card's value, but our damage increases by 750%. Having our base damage increase by that much is honestly quite a shit ton, and honestly is comparable to a lot of these single-shot Jacobs snipers, and if you want to use those, you definitely could, but I like holding down my trigger and just shooting lazily. So, if you do find a single-shot Jacobs sniper with 4, 5, 6,000, even more damage on the card, you could probably make this be exponentially more insane. Now, with the stopgap, we're going to throw this down and start shooting and build up the maximum damage that the stopgap can do. And as you can see, we're hitting for 64, 35, 35. 35 seems to be our magic number on the shock department, and 15,000 for radiation. Now we're going to proc our ability. We hit for 397,000 right there. If we do it in the head, 576,000. We might get one more off. Yeah, we're just hitting for insane numbers right there. So every time you re-trigger, you're getting a big burst of damage, but not only that, you're getting that bonus radiation at all times, which scales based off your gun damage. So when you're using Harlowe with the stopgap specifically, and we are using the Vladoff enhancement that gives us another projectile, so we randomly just shoot twice and double our damage, you can see that bonus projectile when we activate our action skill hit for almost 2 to 3 million damage. Though not common, it is entirely possible. 715,000, and this is not accounting for all the other states of damage, like the shock damage that we're getting and all that other stuff. We're not accounting that. From the actual gun and the secondary radiation that is behind the proc, which is Meltdown, doing insane damage. Now, where we can take this a step further is, since we have a class mod that bolsters those two abilities, I found the Streamer. Thanks for the sub, Superfan. It's a reference to Tyrene from Borderlands 3. the cool thing about this gun is it shoots a beam, right? You chart it up, you shoot a beam, and it is a radiation beam. And as you can see, it's hitting for generic ticks. It's doing whatever damage, 1,363 a tick. And when it randomly crits, it decides to do more damage. But it is a radiation weapon, and since we are Harlowe, and we love radiation, you can see it triggering all of our kill skills, our action skill, all that fun little benefits in the bottom left just for shooting this once, and that beam is going to be constantly ticking. And from everything I showed you at the beginning of the video, what we can actually do here is kind of stupid. What we can do is activate our action skill, use this gun, amp ourselves for the next amped bullet, and then shoot this guy in the head. And as you can see, we are ticking 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. We're getting that tick every hit, and when it blows up, you hit almost 100k. And what you can do is just keep shooting this, keep re-triggering, and since we have the crit bonuses and all the bonus damage, you can see where this gets absolutely crazy. Now, this is just doing a crap ton of damage, a crap ton of radiation damage, and it's taking benefits of that guaranteed crit from Harlow's build. But not only that, when we shoot that amped projectile, it counts for every single tick of damage. So, to further make this a valid point here, we could take it further if we wanted to use like an amped rep kit. But when we activate this, as you can see, we are hitting for 4,800 radiation damage, and it stacks up because of our one skill. But if we re-trigger and shoot in the same body shot, we are hitting for 20,000 radiation damage per tick. So we are taking full benefit of not only the amped damage on the initial hit of this, but for every single tick of damage that this ordnance puts out, we are getting that benefit. Going into this, for some reason, each tick does not proc meltdown. So we are not getting meltdown procs from using this right there. We get the initial meltdown proc, but every single tick, that 68 damage is not meltdown. That just means they're irradiated. Now, why the build actually functions the way it does is because each tick is stored when we are using Nuclear Winter in conjunction. So when we do that, each tick is proccing Nuclear Winter. As you can see, with each individual tick, we are getting that bonus cryo proc from Nuclear Winter. As you can see here, when we are standing inside of it, we deal bonus cryo damage, and that is per tick. So, like I said before, build up our fire rate, build up our damage, do that random amp occasionally, and you will be pumping out numbers. And since we are critting constantly, you're going to constantly be shooting, and you're going to melt a lot of things in the game. Now, the cryo stopped because our action skill stopped, so action skill uptime is going to be pretty important and vital to you. Now, where I would say this build would shine the most is if you're using a single shot Jacobs with crit damage, and if you want to go for like a sniper build, but you can do some pretty crazy things with that. But I just want to point out these interactions for Harlowe, because I feel like nobody's really talking about it, because in many use cases, having meltdown on your guns, especially with the guaranteed crit chance in Green Tree, since you're already speccing Green Tree to begin with, you could use something, like I said before, a Torg launcher, like my launcher Harlowe build, which is on my channel. When you shoot, look at that portion of free radiation damage you're getting for simply speccing into a skill. That radiation damage is absolutely insane. And if you want to take it even further, again, like my build video on my channel, you could definitely take it further like this. You could turn this absolutely insane, get the bonus cryo and radiation while you're inside of here, all the bonus gun damage, and basically shoot forever. And it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Not every weapon could take full advantage of this combo, but the weapons that can really can abuse it. So, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you hit the like button down below, as it does spread out more content to people in the Borderlands community. And don't forget to subscribe so you guys never miss out on another video from me. Stay safe, and I'll see you all later.